Hey friends, Steve Guttenberg here. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show, and this is the Sennheiser HD25 headphone. You know, the original model came out in 1989, and there have been various versions along the way. But this one, the HD25, this is sort of the anniversary edition, not the anniversary of this headphone, the anniversary of Sennheiser, which is now celebrating its 75th anniversary. That is seriously old in the audio world, but they've been making great products, great headphones, and great microphones forever. And I'm wearing a yellow shirt against a yellow background because, well, this one comes with yellow ear pads and also black ones if you don't like yellow ear pads. But the yellow has a special significance, at least for me, and I think a few million other audiophiles. So what's up with yellow? Yellow comes from this headphone. This is the Sennheiser HD414. This is an iconic headphone if there ever was one. Sold in the millions and millions of HD414s. Not all with yellow ear pads, but mine had them. And I had a pair in the 70s. Those are long gone. This is my replacement. This is still a really great headphone. But it's not about this headphone today. It's about the HD25. It's a limited edition of 25,000 headphones, so plenty to go around. It's $100. Comes with a 2-year warranty. Impedance, as it says right on the headphone, is 70 ohms. It's extremely light. It weighs about 5 ounces. I would say it's pretty comfortable, except for one thing. The ear pad pressure against my ears is a little intense. It's really powerful. Now, you can stretch it out enough, and over time it's a little less pushy, a little clampy, a little less clampy against this old noggin. But it's designed for that because it's kind of a DJ Pro headphone, and if you're bopping around and listening to the music, you don't want a headphone flopping off your head, right? So it has to have a certain amount of staying power on your head, and considering it weighs 5 ounces or 170 grams, I forget. But anyway, you don't want it falling off your head. So you get to, some people it bothers more than others. I was a little annoyed, and if you're wearing glasses and the ear pads are pressing against your frames, it's kind of uncomfortable. But that's just me. Obviously, many people, many, tens of thousands of people have bought this headphone over the years, and they keep making it because people love it. Now, I reviewed it in 2014 for CNET. I will link to that review. And it was some sort of, I think it was called the HD25 Mark II, and there was also an aluminum cup version. This is plastic. But that model was like $300. This is $100. And most of the HD25s that came out over the years were more expensive than this one. So it is kind of a deal. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about is Sennheiser made a video. It's called the watermelon video or something, where they do all sorts of horrible things to an HD25. They drop it, they shoot it, they do all kinds of crazy stuff to prove its durability. Because again, it is essentially a pro headphone. And durability in the pro market, where people just throw things around, is hugely important. So it's a fun video to watch. I thought so, at least. So there's some interesting design details here. The headband, for example, is split, so you can shape it to better fit your head. That's pretty cool. The cable is user replaceable. So are the ear pads. And though these are yellow, it does come with black ones. I don't know if I said that before, but if you hate yellow, we got you covered with the black ear pads. So Steve, what does it sound like? Well, it sounds really good. I put it on my head, I started listening, yeah, I like this. First, because it makes bass. I hate to be so basic about it, but headphones with bass are, as long as it's not overdone or thick or bloated or muddy, I kind of do, I have to admit, I do like headphones that make a generous amount of bass. This headphone, yes, absolutely makes a substantial amount of bass for an inexpensive, mostly plastic headphone. But the bass is really good. It's fast, it's clean, it is punchy, it is never bloated or thick. It's checking all the right boxes for Steve-O. definitely. So I couldn't resist, by the way, since I brought out the HD414 to make the video, I couldn't resist comparing this 50-year-old headphone to this 30-year-old headphone, basically 30-year-old design, right? And you know what? The 414, which they don't make currently, this headphone holds up really well. It is the world's first open back headphone. So all other headphones, no matter how expensive or exotic, all other headphones before the HD414 were closed back cans. That's why the can thing, that's why some people refer to headphones as cans. Because all other headphones sounded like they were cans strapped to your head. They were very echoey and reverberant and just rather unpleasant sounding devices. When I first heard this one, wow, it was a revelation because it was so open sounding. And you know what? It's still open sounding and it's still really, really light. Unfortunately, they don't make it right now, but this is a great headphone. Way more open sounding than this guy. This is a closed back headphone. And by the way, it does an amazingly good job of blocking out the outside world noise, etc. It's passive. It's not a noise canceling headphone, but it definitely does a great job blocking out noise. This one is slightly duller on top, has less bass and less bass punch. This one just totally clobbers it in terms of bass impact and bounce and fun, and you want to just rock out to this one. This one is not bad, but it's not up to current standards, let's put it that way. But I still love this headphone. I am so glad I got it. Then there's this one. You recognize this guy, right? This is a Momentum over the year. This is a Momentum 2. I think it's 2 or 3 years old. I love this headphone. I use it a lot. This one's bass isn't as punchy as the HD25, but it has more top-end detail, and certainly it's more open sounding, even though it's a closed back headphone. It's got a lot going for it. But this one's bass just kicks butt. I'm sorry to emphasize that over and over again, but it's such an outstanding quality, this headphone. It just makes it fun. And this one feels like an old guy kind of headphone. You know, it's a little more easygoing and stuff, but it does have more detail and clarity and transparency than this one. And I think the idea is, since this is a pro headphone, and pro meaning it's going to be worn maybe a whole work day, like 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours in a studio or by a DJ or something. So the top end is kind of, let's just say, relaxed, a little soft sounding. So it makes it all go down nice and smooth, right? So if you're hung up on neutrality and transparency, don't buy this headphone. I wouldn't buy this one either, but that's a story for another day. This guy kicks butt. This one, a little less, but in many ways it's more of an audiophile sound headphone. As for music, oh, you want to know about music I listen to? Sure. I listen to Melanie DeBasio's With Love. She's got an amazing voice, and I love, love, love the production on this record. It's just so simmering and sultry, and it's got this deep groove going. You want to hear groove? This is the headphone for you, man. Listen to her. But her vocal sound was freaky good. I mean, really, really just right on the money. Miles Davis's score for Siesta, a totally forgettable movie. I don't know anything about it, but it's kind of late Miles Davis. It's kind of got a synthy bed for his horn and electronics and stuff. But it's also kind of moody. It's interesting to hear Miles Davis in a kind of a different setting, and that transients of his horn are nicely done. Again, not too bright, not too much in your face, but definitely there. Brooklyn's getting a little noisy. It's coming back to life. Oh, and speaking of synths, Mac Quayle's score for the Mr. Robot TV series. You guys know that one, right? Wow. I mean, that guy just goes deep. Again, because the HD25's bass capabilities, it's like these headphones were massaging my ears. Practically, literally. There was so much bass, but so well controlled. And the score just kind of sets things up and just goes for it, man. It's really, really good. If you're into synth music. Anyway, yes, the HD25 kicks but it's a great headphone, durable headphone, 2-year warranty, $99 or $100 price, a limited edition of 25,000 headphones, so get them while they last. I think they'll last a while. That's it. That's all I got. I love this headphone. My name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. Right now, it's coming up 5 days a week, 4 sometimes. We'll see how that works out. If you like what I do, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. When you do, hit that little notification bell so you'll be notified every time there's an amazing new episode. Check out the Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/audiophiliac. If you can't write that down fast enough, no worries, there is a link below. But while you're here, check out the playlist. There's playlists for headphone reviews and speaker reviews and amplifier reviews and music reviews and interviews with audiophiles and audio designers of all sorts and brands and types. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at AudiophiliacMan, on Instagram at steve.guttenberg. And that's it. That is everything. That's all I got for you guys today. So thank you for being here, and I really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.